Hello guys, good evening. I just want to give some feedback on the recently concluded paper 2 of IGCSE 2024 November examination. So anyway, disclaimer, all informations I've got for the examinations was actually feedback given by my students, and I tried to write them down just to have some information to uh, include in this video that I will be doing. So I'll just give feedback. I will just mention some of the questions that they have told me on what happened in the examinations on paper 2. Based on the feedback of most of my students, they said the examination is really quite easy. There is just some little different way of giving the question in an access part, but in general it was just easy. So let's point each of the feedback they have given to me and discuss what are those things. The first things they have mentioned to me is that the Word, Microsoft Word, this is just an example of already finished work. So questions that came out in that one relates on the first one. There was a question that they said there's a question that you have to put your name into the certain place in the document. Example in here. So there was a question that you have to do, like create like this, created by, and there was a special instructions they said in the paper that it says it should be in one line. So what they meant by that, if we have, okay, so just by chance it's just too lengthy, it might go to the next line. So my suggestion is just make this one backspace. It will go to the middle basically, but you can just make this one into right alignment after that, or left alignment, wherever they ask you to put it, just make it that way so that it will be in one line, because that was the feedback I received, that it says exactly that it should be one line only. Another thing that they have mentioned is that there was a question that relates to the column, like this one right now, but oftentimes most questions in the column is like from this forward to the end. So you know, this particular year they said, so just like this paper itself, like there is a specific place or specific paragraphs that you have to make two columns into it. So if you are asked to make a paragraph out of two columns out of this particular line only, so you just highlight that one and you go to the layout and make two columns for it, so in a specific gap that it will be, so it will be this way. So they said it was not that hard because it's already given there. You just have to make sure to select that. They even mentioned it was set to 1.5, so that particular question was there. Another thing that they have mentioned is there was a question that relates to making like this one exactly. So that's why I opened this paper, because they said it's most likely the same like this paper, where the question was to add border to a specific paragraph and make it a specific width. So basically you can just do that one by going to the border here, border and shading, and just choose box and choose the number that they want. So it might be between 3 to 4, something like that. And I think I choose 4.5, so you can just choose 3 for that particular thing. And if they asked, I think they said also that it was mentioned also in the paper that you have to put gray scale shading into it, which is this one here. And also they said there's a question that make it also that you have to indent this particular paragraph into a 1 centimeter from both ends. So if you're asked for it, you just have to go to the paragraph, and here you can have this one here. So just put the before and after. I'll make it 1.5 right now just to show you that it will change. So highlight that, and there you go. So you will see the margin set up for both ends, or this one here it's 1.5. That's one thing they have mentioned. Another point that they have mentioned is about I think a list which you have to sort in the Microsoft Word. So oftentimes you have this in Excel, but in Word they said there's also a sorting like this one here. So if they ask you to sort this, anyway, there's an option here already. Just click this one, and you can have the ascending and descending order. So if descending, just click this. If ascending, the order. But make sure to highlight. So B should be coming first before that letter S. So BRS. So this is the sequence in if that is being sorted into a specific order. And one more thing they have mentioned to me is that in Word there was a question also that you have to insert a specific bullets, which is it came before, like I think in one examination, I think 2020, that they asked for star bullet. So you have to make sure that you can find it. So lucky enough, my students were able to practice it already, because they were practicing that paper. So you should be seeing a star somewhere here if you recently use it, but if it's not, just go to the font and find that one under Wibblings. Here you can see this one here. So Wibbling 2, if you can find it, I think it was Wibbling 2, specifically the position of it. So here's the star for it. So just click that one, and they said you just have to make it a star. And I think there was an indentation of one, I forgot exactly what they said, but they said there's an indentation for this. So if that was asked to indent for 2 centimeter, just make it here, or maybe 1 centimeter, just make it here. So just make sure if your unit is in centimeter already. If not, put cm, okay? If the unit is not set into centimeter, you better put cm into it. So that will be 1 centimeter gap on that one there. Next one is forgot. Let me just remember what they mentioned about the question itself. So they said that there's also a question that you need to locate a specific table and delete a certain column into it. So I think it was column they had mentioned, column or row. So I'm pretty sure you know already how to do it. But just to show you, if there's a table here, like this one here. So if there's a specific table, they might ask you to delete one. For example, they will ask you to delete this column. You just simply highlight that and just go to delete columns. So that is one of the questions they said. Or you can even just click one part of the column and just go to delete cell and just choose entire column. So that will be deleted. The same thing on how you can delete the row for it. And there's one thing that they mentioned that is a little bit different. They just saw this paper. I mean, like this type of question in the papers, like they have mentioned the height. I think it's the width or the height of the column. No, the height is for rows. The column width. So they specifically mentioned what's the width of the table on this particular paper. So let me just delete this cell here, column, so that we can adjust the width. So they said there was a question to make it into center alignment, if I'm not mistaken, and specifically column width was mentioned. So just you will go to the table properties of it, and here you go to the table width and make it into specific. I don't know. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So I'll make it 5 for now. So I'll just make it 5 centimeter and make it centimeter and make it in the center. If they emphasize or specific on this particular question. So I think they said that also it was asked to put in the middle. So that will be. This is the exact size of 1 centimeter or 5 centimeter, the size of a table, and it will be in the center alignment. So other than that, I think that's the only thing that they have mentioned that is about the Microsoft Word. So most likely it was just the typical past paper of Microsoft Word. So checking for widows and orphans, those are the things included to it. So it's probably 9 out of 10 in terms of if you just practice past paper, so you will be able to answer everything. 9 out of 10. What I meant of 9 out of 10, because based on what the feedback, This is the first time that they ask for the column width of the specific table. So something that is new. So if you just rely on past paper, you will not be able to do that one if you have no idea. But if you practice a lot, I'm sure you will find ways to figure it out. All right, let's head to the access part. On the access part, they said something about it. My students said that there were actually three tables that was given, and one thing that you have to be careful is there was actually a table that related to the date format. So date format is very really important if you're trying to import, because if you will import it wrong, you will end up with importing errors. So like this one, the format is day, month, year. So when you want to extract the data, you source from file. Just example, this is not really the job or the task for today. Let me just give it a go to just try it. Click OK. Next, first row here. So you can see that it's formatted as day, month, year. So that's very, very important that you should make this format of date here is the day, month, year. Because if not, you will be losing some of those files, and that will be crucial for your work. So another thing, they said there's boolean, and basically if there's boolean, you know that it should be set into yes or no option. An example only of it is not the one. So make sure to make it yes or no here and not to do it later. It should be during the importing part. And one thing that they have mentioned as well, they said that there is a formatting of telephone. So again, when you try to import a telephone, it must be imported as text. So if you're importing this, make sure that it is formatted as text while you're importing. So it should be short text, not numeric, because that is always the case in the examination. So I think that was the only thing that they're concerned in terms of importing file. Oh yeah, they mentioned something also. There was a question that it says that it should have one decimal place. So just like I see if I have files that has decimal. Anyway, like the length here, it has two decimal places. So if they have mentioned that it should have one decimal, so don't forget that you can do that by simply making the format into standard and make the decimal place into one. So in that case, this is what you should have. So a number with one decimal into it. So that's it. That's exactly what you should do if you have the instruction of the question that it says one decimal place only. And after that, they said there was a question that it talks about creating a form, a specific form coming from the one table. So I don't know exactly what was that, but because we don't have it here though. So let's just try to make a form out of Builder. So when you create a form, I always teach my students to do the form wizard. So I will just create from React. So they said it's not the whole field actually that was mentioned to include. So they said it's only like 5 or 6 fields that was asked to import. So just click finish for that anyway, that will be enough. They said that the new thing about it, which was not asked before, is that you have to insert a specific field coming from another table. This is what they said. You have to import a specific field coming from another table. So let me just double check if I'm importing it right. No, I can't because this is open. Let me just close it first. Yeah, ID, okay. Anyway, so this said that you have to get this particular example only, this particular builder ID, that it will be added into this particular form, which is the form coming from React. So this is what you should do to do that. Just go to the design view. Oh no, not this one here, sorry. Close that. So again, the form that we just created, I think this is the one. Where's the form I just created? I think this one here, yeah. So they said to include it somewhere in the middle of these fields. you should put that ID. So what you can do is basically just increase this. Like for example, it should be between this one here. So just in my how I do it, I highlight everything and scroll using the keyboard to bring it down so that I will have space where to put it. And to get access to that builder field or builder table, you just go to the add existing field. So like this one. So when you click that, you will see show all tables here. So there may be another way of doing it, but this is enough to do. So you will go to the builder, as they said, and then the field that they wanted to. I forgot the field that they mentioned. They said about code something. Oh, ISO code. Yeah, I remember. They mentioned about ISO code or something like that. But anyway, we don't have that file, so we just have to make something which is related to it. So let's assume that it should be the country code, something like that. No, builder code. It should be builder code. It must be related to it. Builder IDs. So double click this one and these things will appear. So this is now to make a relationship between those, because we haven't created a relationship so far with the two table. So this said that you have to make a field which will link to it. So basically you have they said the question was mentioned, even I don't know what's the name of that. It was ISO code and country code, something like that they mentioned to me. But anyway, so this in this particular field, I know that this particular SP builder, which is the builder ID, is linked to what the so-called builder code. So the two fields must have a relationship, okay? Must be the same, in other words. So one is primary key, one is the foreign key. So I don't know which one is having that one. And of course, you have to take a screenshot for specifying that it is actually linked to that particular table. Click OK, and there you go. You can see now that the field builder ID is displayed here. That should be the case of it, and you can. And they said that there's even instructions to rename this particular thing. So let me just name that one as builder relationship example only. So they said to make it a builder relationship, something like that. So and later there was a follow-up question for it. Let me just run it first and see the thing. Alright, so build the relationship. This is the thing we can have. So if you observe right now, the builder relationship and the builder code, since they are linked, so it should give the same thing. Now this said to actually remove, I think it was the one password, but to remove this one here, let's just remove this one because it's already there as code as builder relationship. That's the builder code also anyway. So if they ask to remove, just remove this. If not, keep it in there. It doesn't matter. Because the thing that they told me is that this one here will become a drop-down list. So to make this one a drop-down list, there's different ways, but what I do is I always go to combo box, and you can see now that it's already a drop-down option there. To make activate for that, go to the property sheet, and then you go to the control data for it. Go to the row source, and then you just have to go value list. You can find it actually. Another method is to find it here where you can specify the control source, but for me I like doing this one here. This said you have to input the informations coming from the builder ID relationship. So to get that one, the way I do it, the way my students do it, if that's limited only for a few options, you can just simply type it. But if that file represents so many informations or so many files, I suggest that you just simply copy paste it from the Excel. Okay, it should be the best way. You can take it from Excel. This is 2023 specimen. That is it's gonna be the builder. Yes, it's gonna be the builder code, as we can say here. Where's the builder? Yeah, builder ID. So builder ID should not be repeated. So let me just see the data for it. There you go. So this one should not be repeated. To see if that something is repeated, you can actually go to the home tab, condition formatting, and highlight duplicate. So if you can see now, no color was turn red, like example in here, like just to show you that if it turns red, then meaning that some fields are actually duplicated, like that one. So you cannot see any red in that particular part of builder ID. So this is the thing you need. Sorting, again, it's just data, ascend, descend, ascend, descend. So just highlight everything, copy that, and go here and input that particular data. So if there's specific data that you want to be a default value, click that one. Alright, so type each item on a separate line. So we don't need to, because this is the whole thing already. So just click OK for it, and this is what you should get now. You should get those particular options like this. So there you go. So everything is there. So any proof on how it's done, you can just click this one to show it, or the best way is technically you can just go to the design view in here and just extend this one if you can. So you will see all those particular elements that you have it there, or click this one also, that will give us also this particular thing. So those are the lists that you have. That will be enough to display. You don't have to show everything anyway. It's just written that particular thing, that particular data was added successfully. So I think this is the one question that my students were asking, like what's going on, how to do it, because we don't practice this part of the question. We practice to create relationship first, and and create the drop down list from it. So this is the first time that these questions was asked in the examination, and that's for the query. I mean the report, not I mean form. That's actually for the form question. And they said that in the report there was a question that you just have to get the highest number. They said the highest number only. So the only thing you have to do is just go to design view, right click, and then go to total, and then just go to the max, and you should get the value that you're looking for if you do that. So they said that's the only thing that actually makes it a little bit tough on access. So if you asked me based on the past paper question, how it differs from most of the past papers, I think the same as Word. It's 9 out of 10 only. So the only thing that makes you think is to input those drop-down lists. That's the thing that makes it a little bit confusing for those students who did not solve that particular type of question. But I hope it was done properly by all students during the examination. Alright, the last part of the examination was basically about PowerPoint. And PowerPoint, they said it's just too easy question. So let me see if I have some files here. I don't know if this works, but let's just try. Yeah, okay, the file is broken. No, don't have any. Okay, let's just open a certain file right now. So I said, I think this is super. Super is not. About. Yeah. So about is the file for PowerPoint in this specimen. So just open with and PowerPoint. If it's available, if not, then you cannot access the particular thing. And why I cannot access the file? It's open. Okay, again one more time. Open with PowerPoint. Okay, so this said the question that was mentioned in that, this is not what I want. Alright, so this said the question that is, the most question is just adding the name, and then the page number. They said just the typical past paper that they asked for it. They said there's also one question just like the old paper, like you have to choose random bullets out of this, and you just have to click a tabulation or tab button, and it will be like that. And they said just like the old past paper, it has to be a line. So what you will do, just go to the bullets, customize that, and look for a line that will be your factor, or that will be the option to make it. They said like that, and they said even it was underline or italic part of the question. So they said that's the only thing that's one thing actually that they asked. And the second thing, they said that there was also a question that asks them to create what we call PowerPoint. I mean, not PowerPoint, like chart. So I don't know if I have a file here that I can make a chart. Let's just try. Okay, like this one. Okay, this is a good one. So anyway, they said that there's a question that you have to create a specific chart. I think it was a pie chart they mentioned. The only thing that you have to do about it is basically select the data that involves to it. For example, these particular things. You can also highlight this for the label. Just hold control, whatever they said, the specific year 2000, I think. You have to select. So you just have to highlight these things here. And what you do is you have to go to insert and then just click the pie chart that they ask you to have. And they said to add the title into it. I know you can do it. And also label for this particular chart, which is you can just click here, label. Just like a typical PowerPoint, they are asking for percentage and the information of this particular slice. So you just have to right click into it and go to the format data label, where you can see here the percentage as well as the category name of this one. So like the legend, which is actually there, you have different options. You can go to outside ends, inside and center. Oftentimes it's about outside end so that it will not overlap with the color of this particular slice. And if they ask for the legend, show it. If they don't, erase it, because right now the legend is already given in the label, so just erase it if they don't ask for it. And I remember they said that it also happened like a single, like one paper we had before, like you have to highlight a certain slice. So example, right now the highest slice is this one. So they said that it was also asked to pull one of it. They don't remember, no one can tell me exactly what was that to be pulled, but they said one of the slice needs to be highlighted. And they said after that question, it just mentioned that you have to bring this particular chart into a certain place in the PowerPoint. So they just said to put somewhere here. Anyway, they said something here, on the left or right. You just have to add a particular chart. So just like the normal typical work of PowerPoint in the past paper. And last thing, they said that there was also an image to be added somewhere. So they said that to insert a certain image, and that image are having a specific size. So example, let me just add an image if I have one here. If this is an image, let me just add. So they said that that particular image is measured into specific 3 centimeter, or I think 3 centimeter. As long as they said that it should be 3 centimeter on both sides. So I mean length and width. So anyway, you can just simply go here and modify that one with the 3 cm. And also here 3 cm. So they said that is the case. So since it is changing, you have to remove the log aspect ratio and just make sure that it will also be 3 cm and 3 cm. So now it's that one. So see, if you observe, both now are having the same measurement of 1.18 inches or 3 centimeter each. So this said, I think that's the whole thing about the paper, as that I can remember. In terms of how hard the paper is, they said it was really easy, this particular PowerPoint, and if you just hold past paper, it's going to be 10 out of 10 that you'll be able to complete the particular examination without any problem. So again, that was the feedback given by my students, and of course we have to look into the possibilities that hopefully you guys who took the examination or who will be taking the examinations will have a feedback on this particular video. So ciao, and for those who have done the paper 2 already, congratulations in advance. And for those who are having trouble with it, so you still have paper 3 that will be conducted next week or a few days from now. So good luck to all of you, and I wish you nothing but the best. I wish nothing but A star for you guys, and why not top or ace the examination and be top of it. So good luck and God bless you all.